We'll try this again. This thing, the camera's still having problems. I need to get a new memory card. I think that would help. I don't know if it's the sole help, but it'll help. I hate news media. I hate news media. I'm getting that point in immediately, and we'll probably get it in a lot. Now to the story, how we got here. I woke up this morning not really having an idea. I woke up this morning not wanting to try and edit something super aggressively, so I decided, yes, it's going to be a talkie video today, and then I spent literally half the day, well, kind of watching Quizlemania, but also trying to think of something to talk about. And then I went downstairs, my dad was watching the midday news, and I got the tail end of an article, the beginning of an article, and went, fuck it, I'm talking about news. Because news media is terrible, and I hate news media so much. Like, modern news media is garbage. And I'm not even, like, when I'm saying that, I'm not even including the bullshit modern internet stuff, you know, the clickbaity, fake news, garbage on garbage, to the point where even actual reputable news sources like The Guardian and The Independent, you know, like actual journalist sites are pushing absolute fucking clickbaity bullshit for the sake of clicks and ad revenue and bullshit. The economy's a problem for another day, as is the educational system, which we'll get to. I think there was another one I brought up in the first version of this, but I'm going to try not referring to that too much. I'm just going to go for it, because I don't script these. I don't like scripting these. It's no fun. I'll also be stabbing over my words more if I script it. So yeah, I got the tail end of an article, which was, the GCSEs are coming out. Well, that's not news. That's not news. This isn't news. And that's not, you know, other than that not being, which is one of my problems with news media. But other than that, it's like, and because it was like, yeah, I was like, but women are doing better than men. It's like, that doesn't matter. The rates are going up. That doesn't matter. Like, people are doing well in GCSE is fine, but that's in, like, people are doing well in an educational system that doesn't work. Like, I don't do tests well, I don't like the test environment. A lot of people don't do that. You're testing people in a situation they will never be fucking tested in. Like, between exams for, like, GCSEs and A-levels, which, you know, are in a confines that would never exist, between the way you have to write and do coursework, like, even in team coursework, everyone has to contribute to the product in an equal format in a way that people don't work in groups. Like, we completely bullshitted our way through those. Like, we worked as a proper team and then wrote it like we worked in an educational team. That's ignoring the fact that you have to write reports in the educational system, especially in university, in a writing style that isn't used fucking anywhere. And I'm like, the other day I saw this isn't the education video, this isn't the educational video, I'm going to move on. This is the news video, this is the news video, this is the news video. So I got that article that wasn't news, and then got the beginning of the economy's start. You know, the economy's starting up, but not quite as much as they thought it was going to. And interviewing a runner of a restaurant, like a small restaurant. Excuse me. And ignoring all of the problems I have with economics and all the problems I have with government. Like, this is, I don't know. It wasn't good. From what I saw of it, wasn't good. And again, I don't want to get it, because there are 3 other videos here. I'm sure you can see, and then there's still the swearing one that's sitting around somewhere. I'll get to them, because I honestly really enjoy just ranting over the internet, and I'm waiting for someone to pick them up because it's going to be fun. That's going to be a fun day. Yeah. So the point is, I hate news media. that is the key factor. Because yeah, and it's like, you have 24-hour news networks. You have a 24-hour news network that is a complete waste of time. Well, it's not a complete waste of time. The point of a 24-hour news network is to keep things up to date. Surely. Which pulls the other side of, that's not news. You also have, you're not reporting these things that are news. Like, these are 2 problems that both exist. And, you know, that's one of the things in 24 Hours News Networks is to cover everything. The other side is to cover things as they go. This isn't targeted at the BBC, it's just, I have the most experience with the BBC, being British. The BBC News has a 24-hour news network, and, like, I like the BBC News network for, like, their updates, just not their television, because televisions are awful. And I can't remember what this was, but there was some big event that happened. Like some big tragedy or some problem that was going on. Like, could have been a terrorist attack. I genuinely don't remember. It was a while ago. And we were sitting there wanting to watch what was on television, and they were just playing the news and repeating the same bullshit on the news, barely giving updates on this shit that doesn't fucking matter. Like, I think it must have been, it was somewhere between, it couldn't have been terrorist attack level, because I would have been like, okay, that's significant at least, because I remember it being something that wasn't super significant. So I can't remember, but the point is I can't remember what it was. And they took over the television. They took over the BBC One. They took over the main television channel. They have a 24-hour news network. You can put a thing at the bottom that says, "We'll keep you updated on the 24 on BBC News. Here is the programming that you're here to watch." You don't need to take over the entire channel when you have a channel that's dedicated to fucking news. But I'll say this about the BBC, as much as it feels like it has an agenda, it is supposed to be unbalanced, unlike, you know, things like in American television, like Fox. Fox clearly is pushing an agenda. Fuck Fox, but also fuck Fox in general, because they're run by terrible people. So is most of media, but that's probably also a problem for another day. I was going to say except for me, but I'm not the best person. I'm better than a lot of media people. But that's not difficult. That's not difficult. That's a low bar to kill it. It's a very low bar to kill it. Yeah, I don't like modern media. I love modern media to a degree. There's a lot of problems with modern media in general, but that one's a hard video to do. It's more where I'm getting into, I want to make a TV series that's just analysing, like it's like TV Burp, but it's more, it's for all media, and it's slightly more analytical, but still comedic. So yeah, because TV Burp was very lol random comedic, where I want it to be more analytical comedic, if that makes sense. Like that is a television show I would actually make if people want to sign me for television. I have a lot of ideas for TV shows that I'd love to make, but that's again off topic. And probably more on topic for the ideas video that I did like a month ago. Ugh, my stomach is playing up. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else I wanted to say, because I'm sure there was something else I said in the first version about the news media. Because there's so many there's too many problems for me to really remember or cover, and I am just doing this off the cuff, because like I said, I don't want to edit today. I don't want to edit, so I'm just talking to a camera. I'm putting the effort into doing actual to camera, partially because it gives me a 20-minute time limit, and my ability to ramble is well known by this point. And partially because I think it looks nicer. I don't have to hold a camera the whole time. I can actually talk with my hands more and move about more, which I like doing both of quite a bit. And yeah, it's just me talking about stuff, because I have a lot to say. I think that's clear. I have a lot to say. So talking about stuff to the internet, it's a good way to say it and then get it out there. Look for people. I guess, yeah, like it does, because I was saying I wasn't going to really talk about it, but the sort of online clickbaity fake news bullshit, it just propagates stupid a lot of the time. Or it propagates the need for like this bad news. Like, there's some real fun articles online, like genuinely actual fun articles that aren't clickbait, and there are some generally fun articles that are, you know, a complete waste of time. I fucking love science, and they just do, you know, all of their stuff is science based. Like, there was one the other day that's like, women are more attracted to muscular men. I'm like, you don't than other people. I'm like, you don't say. Thanks science. Thanks science. But you know, that's science. That's actually like, someone did a scientific study for this. It's like, it's the same place I got confirmation of my theory forever, which is technically everyone's a little bi. Yeah, at least a little. Because they did a study, and they put a bunch of people, and they sat them in front of a bunch of images, and they read brainwave. They found the brainwave that's linked to attraction. And so they measured brainwaves, and they showed them pictures of men, pictures of women, pictures of landscapes as a control, and you know, saw the spikes of the various spikes of the brainwaves, and took note when and almost every, and basically every single person they tested had at least some spike for both genders, which is cool. Like, that is good news. There is good news out there. It's just not televised. I think televised news is the problem, if I'm perfectly honest. Although a lot of other news outlets aren't any better. Like, there are obviously a lot of other news outlets that aren't any better. Again, bullshit online, fake news, clickbaity news, to the point where reputable sources like The Guardian are doing bullshit. I'm using The Guardian as an example because it's the one that I've actually seen do it. Like, you are a reputable news source. You are a proper fucking paper. Why are you doing this clickbaity shit? Like, that comes back to advertising on the internet and capitalism ruining everything. And capitalism does, in fact, ruin everything. And, yeah, it's like... It's just annoying, you know? Like, I don't feel comfortable getting sources of news from anyone. Like, I don't feel like there's anywhere I can get decent information from. And I'm not one to read the news. I'm not one to care too much about the news. Again, I follow BBC News on Facebook because that is actually a better source of news than the BBC televised news. It's unbelievable. Like, I get better news updates from BBC News on Facebook than I would watching the BBC News fucking broadcasting. Both 24-hour news network, but again, 24-hour news network is saying the same thing over and over again, which is a fucking waste of everyone's time and effort. And fucking life. God, I'd love to work for the BBC. Don't get me wrong, but never as a newscaster, because that sounds like a terrible job. Like, being a newscaster on the BBC sounds awful, especially if you're stuck on the 24-hour news network, because you just have to keep saying the same shit over and over again for no fucking reason. It sounds like a fucking cursed existence, honestly. Like, I hate wasting time. I waste a lot of time, but at least I waste time having fun. Having fun or having existential crises, but I can't really do much about that. I just have to let them come and go. Take time for mental health, ladies and gentlemen. Always take time to mental health. If you're having mental issues, step away from whatever you're doing. And if you are in a position, if you're in a place that doesn't let you do that, that's a toxic fucking work environment, and you should report them to somebody. I don't know who, because a good work environment should take your mental your mental health and your physical health take priority over your work. I try, like, this is therapeutic to me, and this is my passion. Like, I work my passion to some degree, so I'm not that bad. Like, as much as I've set myself times constraints, which I keep not being very good at sticking to, which is why I'm doing this and not something more interesting this week. That, and because I didn't put a lot of effort into yelling at people to try to... Oh, they're getting worse. They're quite acidic. The stomach is really not playing nice today. I have real bad acid reflux, if you're new. And sometimes it flares up a lot, and it's flaring up a lot in this moment. But yeah, so I think that's a good enough place to end. That's a solid enough rant on the news media. Let me know what you think about news media, and if there's any topics you'd like me to talk about, any of the ones I've mentioned you'd like me to, hot shot up the list, or anything topic. Like, I will talk about anything. I can talk for England. Although I probably wouldn't, because I don't think I would like to represent this country at all. Just based on a lot of political decisions that this country has been making recently. Over the past, decade and a half. That's probably, half a decade, more than a decade and a half, but everything is awful. That's the long and short of it. That's the long and short of every talk I'll probably end up doing is, everything's awful, capitalism ruins everything. Fuck is the very shorthand version of all of these videos, but for more detail I will happily talk about whatever you'd like. So let me know if there's anything you'd like me to talk about, again, the ones I've mentioned, or otherwise. Like, share, subscribe, all that YouTube-y bollocks. I You know, get a conversation started. If I'm gonna do a lot of these talking to camera videos, I want it to be a discussion. I want this to be an open, a channel to open discussion. So if you disagree with me, let me know. If you agree with me, let me know. Comments like tickle the algorithm, but also I generally want this to be a discussion. I would generally like to talk about this. I will respond if I see your comment, and I think it's worth responding to. And obviously subscribe, because I do a video, like I was gonna say like this, but I do a video every Thursday that could be like this. It could be a gaming video, it could be whatever. It's an open slot day, basically. It's just there will be a video on Thursday. There's a video that goes up on Sundays. Those are wrestling videos. If you don't care about wrestling, I think we're probably the best place to go for wrestling content, just because we are just doing silly wrestling tournaments at the moment. In fact, speaking of which, we are going to be going live later for the recording session for this week's video on Twitch. That's later today if you're watching this on the date of upload. And yeah, we will every Tuesday and either Thursday or Friday, depending on mine and Dan's availability, and well, mine/Dan's availability. One of them will be wrestling recording. One of them will be just whatever I feel like. It's been League a lot recently, the non-wrestling ones, but it has been all sorts, because I did a whole month last month of just pushing myself for it. But yeah, so do follow me on Twitch, do subscribe here, you know, get that discussion going in the comments, share this around so more people can see it, so the discussion can grow. Do you see how this works? Like, I'm not doing it to tickle the algorithm. Tickling the algorithm is a byproduct, a positive byproduct. It's a byproduct. I actually generally want to, you know, get this out there, get people talking, because no one gets anywhere without discussion. Everything is much better if you just fucking talk about it. It's that simple. But yes, thank you for watching, especially if you watched all the way to the end. And I guess I'll see you in the next video, or on Twitch if you go follow me on Twitch. Ta-ra.